Welcome back. Think your old Lincoln wheat penny is only worth a cent? Think again, some of these coins can fetch hundreds or more. In this video, we'll go through the rarest dates, key mint marks, and errors to help you find out if your penny is a jackpot. First up, 1909 Lincoln wheat penny coin without mint mark coin condition circulated. This coin holds a very special place in the history of American coinage because it marks the very first year that the Lincoln cent was introduced into circulation. Prior to 1909, the United States cent featured the Indian head design, which had been in use for 50 years. The change to the Lincoln design represented not just a new image, but a major shift in style and sentiment. It was the first time a real historical person appeared on a regular issue United States coin. The portrait of President Abraham Lincoln was created by sculptor Victor D. Brenner, whose initials originally appeared on the reverse of some of the early coins. That year, the coin without a mint mark indicates it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which was responsible for striking a large portion of the 1909 Lincoln cents. There were two main reverse types in 1909, one that features the designer's initials VDB at the bottom between the wheat ears and one that does not. The version without the initials is less rare, but still very desirable to collectors simply due to the historic nature of the first year issue. In circulated condition, the 1909 Lincoln wheat penny shows signs of wear that are typical for a coin over a century old. The obverse side features a bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on the left and the date 1909 on the right. The motto "In God We Trust" runs across the top of the coin. In a circulated coin, the fine details in Lincoln's hair, his beard, and his cheek may be smoothed out from years of handling. The lettering usually remains legible, but may appear worn around the edges or blended slightly into the coin's surface. On the reverse side, the words 1 cent and United States of America are boldly struck in the center with a pluribus unum above and to stylized wheat ears on either side. This reverse design gave rise to the common name wheat penny or wheat cent. In a circulated example, the tops of the wheat stalks and fine lines between the kernels may be faint or completely worn flat. The edges of the coin often show some rounding and lightness from contact with other coins over many years. The color of the coin in this condition is usually a medium to dark brown tone. The original red copper luster fades over time due to oxidation and exposure to air and moisture. A completely red 1909 cent in uncirculated condition can be extremely valuable, but circulated pieces still hold strong appeal among collectors, especially for those who want to own a piece of American numismatic history. Despite being a common issue with millions minted, the 1909 Lincoln cent has historical importance that cannot be understated. It was issued to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The decision to feature Lincoln on a coin was controversial at the time, but it set the stage for modern coin designs that honored real people instead of allegorical figures. Because of this innovation, the 1909 penny is often considered a milestone in American coinage. The collector value of a 1909 Lincoln wheat penny in circulated condition depends on its grade I appeal and whether it includes the VDB initials. A coin without the VDB, but with a clear date and clean fields, can still command strong value, especially when found in nice condition. While the most valuable versions of this coin can reach thousands of dollars in higher grades or with rare features, even circulated versions can reach several $100s in auctions, especially if well preserved and attractive. For those who collect Lincoln cents, the 1909 issue is absolutely essential. It marks the beginning of a coin series that continues to this day. Most Lincoln cent collections start with this very coin, making demand strong even among casual collectors. In addition, many coin dealers and investors look to early Lincoln cents as a stable collectible due to their age, historical context, and strong base of interest. A 1909 Lincoln wheat penny in circulated condition represents more than just copper and age. It carries with it the story of a changing nation, the legacy of a revered president, and the beginning of one of the longest-running coin designs in the world. Even worn examples are admired and respected, and they remain among the most frequently sought-after coins in the American penny series. Whether held for investment study or sentimental reasons, the 1909 penny is always viewed as a key and foundational piece of any wheat cent collection. Next up we have 1916 Lincoln Wheat penny coin without mint mark coin condition circulated. This coin comes from an early chapter in the history of the Lincoln cent series and is now well over 100 years old. The 1916 issue was produced at a time when the Lincoln cent design was still relatively new but had already gained acceptance among the public and collectors alike. It was part of the Wheat penny series that ran from 1909 to 1958, and these coins were well known for their simple yet classic design, which featured the bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat ears on the reverse. The absence of a mint mark on this 1916 penny tells us that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During this period, the Philadelphia Mint did not place any identifying letter on coins, so a coin without a mint mark from this year and series is considered a -1 issue from Philadelphia. While millions were struck in that year due to the heavy circulation and age, not many have survived in high grades, and those that did are now considered collectible, especially to those interested in the full Lincoln series. In circulated condition, this coin likely shows significant signs of wear. On the obverse, the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln remains recognizable, but fine details such as the hair strands, the lines in the cheek, and the bow tie are often smoothed out from years of use. The date 1916 should still be clearly visible, as well as the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust" that appears along the upper edge of the coin. Sometimes the lettering becomes faint near the rim due to wear, but the overall design remains intact. The reverse side of the coin features the familiar design with 1 cent and United States of America in bold lettering at the center, the Latin phrase "E pluribus unum" arches across the top, and two stylized wheat stalks border the central text on both sides. In circulated examples, the tips of the wheat stalks and the fine lines within them are usually worn down or flattened. The surface of the coin may show nicks, dings, or discoloration from decades of handling, storage, and circulation. The original color of the coin was a bright reddish copper, but by now the surface has likely darkened to a brown or dull tone due to oxidation. Circulated coins often exhibit uneven toning and may show darker patches or small surface spots. Despite this, many collectors appreciate the aged appearance of early wheat pennies and consider even well-worn examples to be historically valuable. What makes the 1916 penny appealing is not just its age, but also its place within a critical decade of American history. This coin was minted during World War I, a time of significant global conflict and change. Domestically, the United States was seeing rapid industrial growth, societal shifts, and changes in its economic structure. Carrying a coin from this time offers a physical connection to those historic years, and collectors value that sense of continuity and legacy. Though the 1916 penny from Philadelphia is not considered rare in absolute terms, it does become more desirable as condition improves. Circulated examples like this one can still attract collector interest, especially if they are free of major damage and have a strong, clear date. For a collector trying to complete a date and mint mark set of Lincoln wheat, since the 1916 penny is a necessary piece, and having one from the original Philadelphia mint adds to the completeness of the set. In the auction market, prices for circulated 1916 Lincoln cents vary depending on the condition, but fine examples without any major corrosion or damage can sell for respectable amounts. Some coins with especially pleasing toning or clean surfaces, despite their age, have been known to sell from $100 to several $100s. Higher values are possible if the coin displays stronger details and overall good eye appeal. Despite the circulated grade, this coin remains a favorite among collectors, not only because of its historical placement, but also due to its elegant and classic design. The Lincoln Wheat penny series is one of the most popular coin types ever issued in the United States, and early date coins, like the 1916 example, offer both historical depth and collectible appeal. Even though it may be worn, the story behind this coin continues to attract interest from those who appreciate the legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the enduring tradition of American coinage. Holding this coin is like holding a piece of early 20th century America, and that connection makes it valuable in more ways than one. Next up we have 1935 Lincoln Wheat penny coin without mint mark coin condition fine. This coin comes from an era of American history marked by recovery and resilience. The year 1935 was situated in the midst of the Great Depression, when the country was slowly rebuilding from one of its toughest economic periods. Despite the challenges of the time, the United States Mint continued to produce large numbers of coins, including the 1935 Lincoln Wheat penny. This specific coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the lack of a mint mark, which was standard practice for coins produced at that facility during this time. In fine condition, this coin still retains much of its original design, though it shows moderate wear on the high points of the surfaces. On the obverse, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains well defined. His facial features are visible, though the highest areas, such as the cheekbones, jawline, and hair above the ear, may be slightly smoothed from circulation. The date 1935 remains bold and fully legible, the word liberty positioned to the left of the portrait is also readable, as is the motto "In God We Trust" along the top rim of the coin. Although the surface may show some darkening or light discoloration from age, the general appearance is still pleasant and suitable for many collections. Turning to the reverse side, the coin features the classic wheat penny design introduced in 1909. It displays the denomination 1 cent at the center, with United States of America just beneath. Arching along the top rim is the motto "E pluribus unum," which was intended to represent unity from many states. Flanking the central text are two stylized wheat ears, which represent agricultural strength and prosperity. In fine condition, these wheat ears remain fully visible, though their tips may show signs of wear, and the inner lines may be faint or slightly blended. The overall design remains intact and easily recognizable to collectors and enthusiasts. The metal composition of this coin is primarily copper, with a small percentage of tin and zinc. Over time, exposure to air and natural elements may have caused oxidation, resulting in a deepened color or uneven tone across the coin's surface. Many fine condition examples display a chocolate brown or reddish brown shade, depending on how they were stored or handled. Coins that have been stored in dry, cool environments tend to age more gracefully, while those exposed to moisture or improper storage may show spots or streaks. What makes the 1935 Lincoln Wheat penny particularly special is not just its age or condition, but also its representation of an important moment in American history. This coin was used in everyday transactions during a time when every cent had value. People used this coin to buy basic necessities at a time when jobs were scarce and money was tight. Holding this coin today offers a glimpse into the past, when even a single penny could help purchase a loaf of bread or contribute to a family meal. In the numismatic market, collectors continue to seek out early wheat pennies like this one to complete their Lincoln cent sets or as individual historical pieces. While the 1935 penny is not considered extremely rare, it becomes more desirable as the condition improves and when it carries no damage or corrosion. In fine condition, a 1935 Lincoln Wheat penny from Philadelphia may be valued at anywhere from several dollars to higher amounts, depending on the market demand. Appeal and specific details of the coin. Serious collectors look for consistent color, a clean surface, minimal marks, and strong detail when evaluating fine condition coins. If the coin you have avoids heavy scratches or environmental damage, it may be seen as a solid addition to a mid-range or advanced Lincoln cent collection. Even if it has spent time in circulation, it can still tell a story through its preserved details and aged surfaces. For those who specialize in wheat pennies, collecting different dates and mint marks is part of the fun and challenge. The 1935 issue is an essential part of that journey. It bridges the earlier coins of the 1910s and 1920s with those leading into the post-war era. It is a coin that speaks to resilience not only of metal and design, but also of the people who used it every day. When properly stored in a coin album or holder, the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny can remain in fine condition for generations to come. Whether collected for its history, design, or as part of a broader set, this coin holds both educational and collector value. Its simplicity and charm continue to resonate with those who value the past and appreciate the craftsmanship of American coinage. Next up we have 1940 to D Lincoln wheat penny coin condition circulated. This coin comes from the Denver Mint as indicated by the small D mint mark placed just below the date on the obverse side. It was produced during the early 1940s when the United States was fully engaged in World War II and materials such as copper were closely monitored for potential military use. Despite the looming changes in coin composition that would soon follow in later years, the 1940 to D penny was still struck primarily in copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, making it consistent with earlier wheat penny standards. In circulated condition, the coin shows definite signs of wear from having been used in daily transactions. On the obverse side, Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains clearly visible, although there may be smoothing around the cheek, jaw, and hairline. The details around the eyes and ears may appear faint, and there could be slight flattening on the coat. Near the bottom of the bust, the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust" can still be read, but the letters might be less bold due to prolonged handling. The date 1940 and the D mint mark beneath it are generally well defined, although light abrasion may make them appear softer to the eye. On the reverse side, the design continues with the traditional wheat ears flanking the denomination 1 cent and the legend United States of America. This reverse design was created by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. In circulated condition, the wheat ears on either side of the coin may show flattened tips and worn interior lines. The motto "E pluribus unum," which arches above the central wording, remains present, though some of the smaller letters may be partially merged with the coin's surface from repeated contact. The copper alloy used in this penny gives it a reddish brown tone, though years in circulation and exposure to the environment often darken the color. In some cases, the coin may display a uniform chocolate brown patina, while others may exhibit uneven discoloration, spotting, or signs of oxidation. These traits are normal in circulated coins and are expected when evaluating a coin that has passed through countless hands over 8 decades. This particular coin tells a story not just of monetary use, but also of the historical context in which it was minted. The year 1940 saw a nation united under the pressures of global conflict. Rationing, war bonds, and conservation were a part of daily life. Coins like this were used to purchase essential goods, help fund the war effort, and contribute to the economy during a time of international struggle. Each coin from this era carries with it a silent narrative of endurance and shared purpose. In terms of collector value, the 1940 to D wheat penny in circulated condition remains a desirable piece for those building complete sets of Lincoln cents. While it is not considered rare, especially in lower grades, it still holds historical appeal. Prices for circulated examples can range from a modest amount to slightly higher figures depending on the exact level of wear and visual appeal. Clean surfaces, legible details, and a pleasing color will naturally elevate its desirability among collectors. For many hobbyists, assembling a full set of wheat pennies from 1909 to 1958 is a long-term goal. Coins like the 1940 to D fill a vital place. In that timeline, they are relatively accessible yet still offer the thrill of searching for quality examples that retain much of their original character despite having been in use. Circulated coins also serve as excellent entry points for new collectors who wish to build a meaningful and affordable collection that reflects American history. Proper care and storage can preserve this coin in its current condition and slow further deterioration. Using a soft cloth for handling and keeping it in a protective holder will help avoid additional wear. While this coin may not command the high values of rare era varieties or mint-state specimens, it remains a respected and valued part of numismatic history. Even as a circulated piece, the 1940 to D. Lincoln Wheat penny offers a glimpse into the lives of those who used it. It may have passed through the hands of soldiers, families, factory workers, or children collecting for wartime drives. The where it shows is a testament to its service in an era when every cent mattered. This coin may not be perfect, but it carries with it a quiet dignity shaped by time and history. Next up we have 1920 for Lincoln Wheat penny coin without mint mark coin condition circulated. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint as shown by the absence of any mint mark below the date on the obverse side. The year 1920 places this coin in the earlier decades of the Lincoln Wheat cent series, which began in 1909. Coins from the 1920s are considered older in the series, and in circulated condition they often exhibit moderate to heavy wear due to many years of use in commerce. On the obverse side of the coin, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains identifiable, though the finer details, such as the hair curls, forehead, and jawline, have likely softened from circulation. The high points of the design tend to wear down first, which means Lincoln's cheek and coat may show significant flattening. The motto "In God We Trust" along the upper rim of the coin is still visible, but may appear faint or slightly blended into the surrounding surface. The word Liberty to the left of Lincoln and the date 1924 to the right are typically clear, though they may have lost some of their original sharpness. The area around the date might show minor surface scratches or darkening from handling and exposure. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic wheat ears design created by Victor David Brenner. In a circulated 1920, for example, these wheat stalks on either side of the words 1 cent and United States of America may show worn tops and a lack of central line detail. The motto "E pluribus unum," which arches across the top edge, can often be seen, though some letters may blend into the field due to the effects of wear. The background may show discoloration from years of use, along with some possible grime or patina that has built up on the surface. The color of the coin will depend on how it has aged and what environments it has been exposed to. In circulated condition, most 1920 for Lincoln cents have taken on a brown or dark brown tone. This natural toning is common in copper-based coins and does not necessarily affect the collectability unless the surface is corroded or heavily damaged. Some coins may have darker areas or light spotting, which are signs of oxidation and common in older circulated coins. Despite its circulated status, the 1920 for wheat penny is a noteworthy piece due to its age and place within the early years of the Lincoln cent series. During the 1920s, the economy in the United States was marked by significant change. This was a post-World War I era, moving into the years of early industrial growth before the onset of the Great Depression. A penny like this would have held real value in everyday life and was used widely for small purchases. Collectors who seek to complete a full run of Lincoln Wheat pennies must include the 1920 for issue from the Philadelphia Mint in circulated condition. This coin is not considered extremely rare, but it is scarcer than more modern wheat cents. Its value is modest when heavily worn, but increases in examples that maintain strong details and have minimal surface damage. Even in circulated condition, a coin from this year can hold collector interest, especially if it avoids major scratches, corrosion, or pitting. When evaluating such a coin, collectors look for legible date and lettering, even wear across the surfaces, and a natural age tone. Coins that have been cleaned or polished can lose appeal and even value because such alterations damage the coin's original surface. For a 1920 for penny, the best examples in circulated grades are those that show honest wear without any signs of harsh treatment. Storing the coin properly is essential to maintain its current condition. Using a soft holder or album slot helps protect it from environmental changes and handling damage. Avoiding direct contact with fingers helps reduce the risk of oils or moisture impacting the surface. For long-term storage, a dry and temperature stable environment is ideal to avoid further oxidation or tarnish. While the 1920 for Wheat penny may not be a high-value rarity, it still offers a tangible link to American history. It represents a time nearly a century ago when life was very different and yet familiar in the sense that people relied on coins like this every day. Holding a coin from this period is holding a small piece of that history, whether added to a collection for its date or appreciated for its age and design. This coin has earned its place among the many small artifacts of the past that continue to spark interest and preserve stories.